Hey, it's Xuan from the Homeschool Front, and today we are going to be joining Abby from Rooted in Rest and Jessica from the Waldock Way for their Homeschool Show and Tell series. So today's episode is about getting to know me or getting to know other homeschoolers, and it's kind of like a this or that kind of a thing. So let's get into it. First up is coffee or tea. That's a hard one. Like, I like coffees on the weekend and I like to have tea during the week. But recently I've started to step away from caffeine because I've noticed it kind of affects my anxiety levels. And I'm drinking mud water right now and herbal tea as well. So I guess tea? I don't know. Early bird or night owl? I am definitely a night owl, but I am trying to wake up a little bit earlier, which means I need to go to bed a little bit later. It's getting better. I'm going to bed before midnight, which used to not be the case. So I am working to be just, I don't know, neither an early bird or a night owl. Next is paper planning or digital planning. I'm not a big planner, but when I do have plans, I do it digitally, so that way I can easily move things around, because I hate paper planners where you have to erase and then you see your erase marks, or I don't know, I like writing in pen better than pencil. So yeah, I don't do paper planners. So I guess digital, even though I don't really plan that well, that much. Okay, plan ahead or plan from behind. How about both? I kind of do both, depending. Like I said, I'm not a big planner. If you've seen my videos about how I plan, I'll link them somewhere up there for you to watch. But hi.
I got in.
Oh yeah, you did. But I kind of plan ahead and I kind of plan behind. I do both, and it works well for us. One homeschool method or eclectic. If you can't tell by now, we are definitely eclectic homeschoolers, and I just like picking the best of everything, using the best practices and just using what works with my kids and what works with my personal teaching style. And it also depends on the subject, what we do. So yeah, we are definitely eclectic. Homeschool, hoarder, or minimalist. So I know some of you have watched my videos about my struggles with homeschool minimalism. I'm not a hoarder. Eva. Sorry, my daughter is moving this. Okay, Eva, don't do that, okay? You need to move away if you're gonna do that. So I am definitely not a hoarder, and I'm not a minimalist. I'm just me. I'm just Xuan. I like having things. I just don't like having a lot of things. I keep things for a while and then I realize I don't need it, and then I will get rid of it. And I probably deep clean or declutter our house at least every season. So there's 4 seasons in a year. I'm decluttering a minimum of 4 times a year, and we seem to just accumulate things so easily. So yeah, I don't want to be a minimalist, but I don't want to be a hoarder. I just want to find that perfect happy medium, I guess. Crayons or markers? Definitely markers, because crayons break. Crayons break all the time. They always break. And my kids fight over breaking them, and someone borrows someone else's crayon that they were using and then end up breaking it, and then it just becomes, markers are okay. I know they run out of ink, but they toss them out. But that's the thing, that's plastic there. So then colored pencils. I like colored pencils. Those are my things. And my kids love sharpening, and I love sharpening pencils. So yeah, colored pencils. Whiteboard or chalkboard? I prefer chalkboard. We have a chalkboard in our classroom. There's just something nostalgic about it, and we love it. I mean, we don't do anything fancy on it like some homeschoolers do, but it's like our daily agenda on there. Whiteboards kind of give me like flashbacks to when I was a middle school history teacher, and we had like this giant whiteboard. And yeah, I'm done with the whiteboards. Chalkboard all the way. Games or puzzles? Both? Can't we just like both? This or that, or both? this or that or both. That's my new take on it. Both. I love games and puzzles. My kids love games and puzzles. We love it all. They're so fun. Screens or no screens. You know what? If I am allowed to use my phone or watch TV, so are my kids. So we allow screens. Doesn't mean that they can be on all day long and do whatever they want. We do have limits, but they're not like hard limits. It's just, I'm trying to teach them to find balance on their own. And for the most part, they're good about it, but sometimes they need reminders. And yeah, you know, I want my kids to develop their own self-control, you know, and boundaries. And so I help. And so I do my best to let them have their tech, but remind them that they need to also get up and move around and do things, which they're pretty much good with. Pajamas all day or get dressed. Well, during the week, we get dressed head to toe. So that's one of the things that we do is after we do our morning routine, and then part of that at the end is getting dressed and ready for the day so that we can tackle the day and whatever may come up. On the weekends, we kind of just do whatever we want. We've been known to wear the same pajamas all weekend long. So yeah, we like to relax on the weekends. Read aloud or independent reading? Both. Independent reading is great because then I don't have to read aloud. Read aloud is great because it's a great bonding time for us, but at the same time, my voice gets wary. And also, you know, it's kind of frustrating when the little ones are, you know, running around and running amok and sometimes being loud, you know? So, I mean, they're young still, so we read aloud, but we also listen to a lot of audiobooks. And to me, technically, that's reading aloud too. All right, I'm back. Classic or modern lit? Yeah, for sure, modern lit. I mean, yeah, there's some great classics out there, but to be honest, some of them are kind of boring. I'm not really into them. Okay, go drink water. I mean, I hated when I was a kid in school and had to be forced to read these boring books that like Grapes of Wrath. Like, ugh. I know it was a classic. I know it details an important time period in our history, but it was so depressing and so boring. I just couldn't. So I don't force my kids to read classics. Like sometimes we do read classics. I love Jane Austen. She is great. No Little House on the Prairie. Sorry, not going to do that. Edgar Allan Poe. My kids love kind of spooky, creepy things. So Edgar Allan Poe is awesome. We've read the Sherlock Holmes. We have the anthologies, have all of the mysteries. We've read that. You know, there's some great classics out there, and there's like some that I just don't want to read, and I'm not going to force my kids to read either. So modern lit all the way. Yes, come in and close the door behind you. Science or history? Why do I have to choose? I love both science and history, but I will have to admit that I'm not good with science experiments because they take a lot of prep work to get it going and clean up as well. And so I guess history wins out. I mean, that's my first love is history, but science rocks too. So I don't know. Art or music? Art all the way. I mean, I love music. We love listening to music, but art is how I express myself creatively. It's how my kids express themselves creatively. So art all the way. I love art. And that's one of my things that I want to do once my kids are old enough, or my oldest son is old enough to watch the two little ones, is to start taking art classes, which I used to always do. Before I had kids, I always took like an art class or two every year, and I kind of stopped after having kids, and I would love to do that again. Nature study or poetry tea time? That's a hard one because we like both, but we don't do both really. I mean, we don't really do poetry tea time. We do geography tea time. I have a video about that if you haven't watched it yet. I'm going to point here. See, I think I'm pointing the wrong area. I don't know what I'm doing. So geography tea time is what we do. Poetry, like we do the IEW's poetry memorization, and we do that when we have tea time as well as the geography. So, and then nature study, we love going out into nature. We love exploring and looking at plants and animal tracks and scat and stuff like that. And we take lots of pictures and we identify them using the various apps that we have. But we don't do nature journals because that is just, I don't know. We just don't do it. Instead, we just don't do it. Maybe one day we'll try. I mean, I kind of tried, but it wasn't, I don't know. Maybe one day we'll get more into it. We'll see. Lunch with your kids or lunch alone? I usually make the kids food first and then they eat and then they go have some free time, and then I'm making my lunch when they're eating their lunch, so by the time they're done, I'm ready to eat. So I guess lunch alone, which is fine. A little quiet time for me. School at the table or school all over the house? All over the house for sure. All over. Everywhere. Even outside. Even in other places and other locations than our home. So we school everywhere, which is why our house is a chaotic mess by the end of the day. Take summers off or school year around? We school year around, but we do take like at least 6 weeks off during the summer. We take, no, not 6 weeks off. This lasts 4 weeks. We take at least 4 weeks off. It depends. Everything is just very fluid in our homeschool. And, when we take breaks is not scheduled. It just happens naturally. Like I just can sense when my kids are done with a unit or I'm done and we just need to take a break. And so it depends. But year round, we homeschool year round. That's it. Mummify a chicken or dissect a frog? How about both? Both sound cool. But then at the same time, that's like science. That means I have to prep things and clean up and all that stuff. But I want to participate. If someone else does all the work, I would be so happy to participate. So we would do both. You don't want to do any? No. I know during this whole this and that, I was supposed to only choose one, but that's not me, man. I'm a multifaceted person and
I made this for you.
Thank you.
Go in the back.
Let's show that. And my little one was drawing while I was filming this video. You want to show your picture? I'm multifaceted and I like to do everything and multiple things, and I like to switch things up and do something different. And I'm not one to play it safe all the time, so I don't know. I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.